Steve Greenberg, the founder and CEO of S-Curve and a distinguished lifer in the music business. Steve, welcome to Arts+labs Innovation Central.
It's great to be here. I'm serving a life sentence in the music business.
You serious, Steve? Are things that bad?
No, things are very challenging. The whole old model has collapsed and people are scrambling to try to build the new model while maintaining some semblance of numbers by continuing to service the old model.
So, what are you most optimistic about in terms of reinventing the music business, of building a music industry 2.0?
I think that the slow acceptance of subscription services like Spotify is a really good sign. I think that we had a 10-year period when all the startups that tried to figure out ways to bring music to people through subscription or other novel approaches failed. A lot of them wound up having to pay huge fees to the major labels in order to get into business, and then they were really limited by the major labels in what they could do and what they could offer. And I think Spotify is the first example of a startup that came in and really managed to build a product that was the product that they wanted as opposed to the product that the major labels would let them have. And I think it's got a real good chance of succeeding, and I think if it succeeds, it will spawn a lot of other startups, a lot of other interesting ideas. So I think that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, but it's certainly taken a lot longer to get there than we thought.
Does Spotify solve the problem of piracy?
No, I don't think that anything's going to solve the problem of piracy. I think it's very easy to steal music, and I think that there's always going to be a percentage of the population that will steal that which they can get for free if they steal it. In our business, people think, isn't the concert business really now the engine that's going to drive the business, because, that's still healthy while the recorded music business is suffering. But the truth is, the only difference between the recorded music business and the concert business is that in the concert business, there's this big guy that stands at the door. And if you try to get in without paying, he knocks you down. And so you don't try to get in without paying. So I think that all businesses at this point really are only as safe as the difficulty in stealing their product are. And I think that as time goes on, we'll get better and better at providing a product that will make it easier and more attractive to use our product than the product that you can steal. But we're never going to eliminate piracy completely.
And Steve, finally, apart from Spotify, what other music startups are you encouraged with? I know that S-Curve is trying to reinvent the label in some way. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, our label is a somewhat novel kind of label. We have a record label. We have 360 deals with our artists. We also have a publishing company, but we also incubate a number of web startups that have to do with music. One of the most interesting ones is called Interlude, founded by Yoni Bloch, and that's a company that has invented a platform for streaming interactive video. We got involved very early with them, and the model that we use for getting involved early with startups is that we say to startups that have a great idea but can't get access to recording artists that have fans, we say, we'll let you have access to our artists. You can use our artists to do projects and prove your concept, and if it works, we'll go out and we'll get you a lot of press, we'll tell all of our friends about it, we'll open up our Rolodex to you, get you meetings, get other people to try your product, and in exchange for that, we take a small piece of equity, and it tends to be a very good model for everybody. We managed to get an MTV award with our Andy Grammer video with Interlude before Interlude was ever funded. And that really helped them, I think, in their process of getting funded by Sequoia, because they'd already had a very big hit. And we're able to do that because we're not run by a bunch of lawyers. The Israeli startups that we've been working with, and they're not only Israeli, but several of the most recent ones have been Israeli, all come to us with the same story. They say, I had this great idea and I went to Universal and they wouldn't let me use their artists. And I need to have artists that have fans to prove my concept. And so we say, hey, we have some artists and they have fans, and let's leverage our artists' popularity to try to help your concept. And maybe your concept will help make my artist more popular, so everybody wins.
Well, Steve Greenberg, the founder and CEO of S-Curve, thank you so much for appearing on Arts+labs Innovation Central, and best of luck with S-Curve.
Thank you. Bye-bye.